Hi, Denise here from Strategro. How's everyone doing today? So, usually on Wednesdays, as most of you know, I post a blog, and I've been doing that every week for the last a little bit over a year, actually. It's not something I ever thought I'd be able to accomplish, but here we are, a year later, and I've been doing it almost every single week since last January. Yeah, I usually write the blog, but when I started the blog, one of my goals was to do a lot of video blogs. And one of the reasons I haven't done that is because I really feel more comfortable expressing myself in a written form, and it just comes easier to me than just chatting on the spot and being in front of people talking. So I have been writing a lot more blogs than I have been doing videos. And also, videos are a little bit harder to get done and they take a bit more time. You need to write out a script, record the video, and then edit it. But now that Facebook Live is on the scene, it's a little bit easier just to get on and do it and just wing it a little bit more than you would with a more of a produced video. So that does make it a bit easier. And also Facebook Live is a great way to connect with my audience, and people just really seem to like videos a lot more, and it's easier to relate to than, say, a written blog, and it's easier to digest. And also you get to see a little bit more about me and what I'm all about and my personality, so it's great for that too. So today what I want to talk about is how to attract the right types of customers for you. So I know this is a struggle that a lot of small business owners face, is attracting enough customers, but just as important is attracting the right customers. So a lot of you probably need more customers, but one of the things you need to focus on is putting the right message out there to make sure that you're attracting the right ones, and then naturally you'll get more of them if you're putting out the right message. So I want your branding to be so on point and your messaging to be so clear that your ideal customers are reaching out to you. They're reaching out and saying, "Hey, Denise, I need your help," instead of you always going out to them and trying to talk to everybody and getting no, no, no. I want people to come to you because you're so appealing and attractive and clear that they know you're the person to help them. So what we'll be talking about today is branding. So if you're new to business, or even if you've been in business for a while but aren't attracting the right customers, one thing you really need to work on is your brand. So just to be clear, your brand isn't just your logo. It's the feeling that people get when they see your logo, or they hear your name, or they see anything that's related to your business. It's the feeling that they get when they see that, and you need to make sure that the feeling that they get is in line with what you want them to feel, and you do that through a really clear message and making sure that everything's on point. So the first thing we need to talk about here is you. So your business and your brand is an extension of you. So I want your personality and the feeling of you to be in your business and in your branding. So you attract what you put out there. So you need to be putting out the types of things that you want to receive. So if you're working with your customers, you want them to really connect with you and get along with you and like you for who you are. I know a lot of people, especially in the beginning, I know I do this too, is you start a business and you try to be professional and you try to put out this professional voice and professional content, but it doesn't really feel genuine to who you are. So you're not attracting your ideal customers and the people who will really love working with you. So one thing I want you to think about when you're putting your personality into your business is think of your business like you think about life, and your customers are your friends. So you wouldn't, let's say you put on this fake personality of the type of person you think that people think you should be. You're only going to attract fake friends, and they're not going to be those really great friends that you can talk about anything with and just really connect with on a personal level. So I want you to think about the same thing when you're trying to attract customers. You want them to like you for who you are, all the weird things about you, your style, the way you communicate, and the way you teach things. So I really want that to be part of it. You need to make yourself relatable. So if you're putting out this fake professional persona and you're not infusing your business and your brand with you, people can't relate to that. So they need to know what your story is, why you're here, why you want to help them, and anything about you so that they can relate to it. So you want to be specific in why you're doing this and maybe what your background is, what your expertise is, and how you plan on helping them. So number 1, you. Number 2 is your customer. So you need to be really clear on who your customer is, who you're trying to help, who you have the solution for, and who will most benefit what you're offering. Okay, so if you have a product that benefits a particular type of person but not another, you want to be really clear on that, clear who you're trying to target and who will most value this, right? And you also need to think about where you can find your ideal customers. So if you have something for senior citizens or 80-year-olds, you're not going to try to market yourself on Instagram. And same thing is if you're trying to sell a product to men, you probably don't want to have a pink and gold and glittery branding scheme. So it's important to infuse you in your brand, but it's also important to think about who your ideal customers are and kind of marry that together and come up with one cohesive brand so that it has you in it, but it also speaks to your ideal customer, right? All right, and so I want you to think about what their pain point is. The better you can describe what their challenge is and what solution you have and what their result will be, the more likely you are to attract the types of customers that you can really help, because it's clear to them, you've made it clear that you understand what their problem is, and you shared with them the solution that you're offering and what the outcome will be. So they have this challenge, they do your proposed solution, and then they overcome the challenge, and this is the result. So you want to be really clear on what challenge they're facing and what their pain point is. And you also want to make sure that you're speaking their language. So I don't mean French or English or Spanish or that type of language, but you need to use the types of words that they connect with. So if you're doing something health related and the types of people you're targeting aren't health experts, you don't want to use this health jargon that they might not really connect with. So you want to avoid jargon and expertise words. You want to make sure it's in plain, simple language that your ideal customers can identify with. And if you're trying to attract teens, you don't want to use your old-fashioned language. You want to use the types of words they'll use today, and so on. You don't want to sound like too smart, like we'd say, where it's you're just using the words to sound smart, because it'll just whoosh go right over their head and they won't latch onto what you're trying to offer. All right, so number 3 is your business. So here I want you to think about what makes you and your business unique. How are you different than your competitors? So most likely you have some type of competitor. If you're in a business worth having, you'll have competitors, and the way that you do things and the way your personality and the way you do business and the way you teach things or offer things or deliver your service is different than your competitor. So you want to make sure it's real clear what makes you different, because again, you want to make sure you're attracting the customers that will value that and that you can really help. So it might feel like you're passing up on business if you're trying to be too specific, and it feels like you're passing up on people who might like it a different way. But I want you to think about this. I want all of your customers to be so happy and get great value, and you want to feel like you're doing the best that you can for all of your customers so that they become your raving fans, they can't get enough of you, and they refer you to everyone else. If you take on a customer or you sell your product to a customer that isn't your ideal customer, they won't get as much value from it, and they might not have the greatest things to say about you because they didn't get the results that you usually get for your customers. So you want to make sure that you get great results for everyone that you work with or everyone that buys your product. Okay, so make sure that you're really clear on what makes you and your business different than your competitors. Think about your strengths. What do you do better than anybody else? And what does your business do better than anybody else? So this is your differentiation strategy. What makes you different and unique and the best for the types of customers that you serve? So it's not saying that someone's better than the other. You're just better suited to particular people, right? All right, so that's the 3 things I wanted to talk about today. And just as a recap, that's number 1 is you. So you want to make sure you're in your brand so that you can attract the types of people that really connect with you. Number 2 is your customers. So really make sure you understand your customers and what their pain point is. And number 3 is your business. And the thing was what makes you unique and different than your competitors and what you do better than anybody else. So I hope you enjoy this little video, and if you want more help on branding, I do have a new program coming out in mid-February called Brand Camp. So if you want more information on that, you can head over to strateger.ca/brand-camp and get some more info there. So thanks for sticking with me through this video, and if you're watching the recap, thank you too. If you have any questions, feel free to post them under this video or send me a message or an email, and I'd be glad to help. Okay, thanks. See you later. Bye.